woman you brought. I love Wolverine. He's badass. The movie is fun, it has incredible action. It is all new, and it's all-encompassing, and you get drawn into it. I've played Wolverine now in 6 movies, the most that anyone has played a superhero character. I'm thrilled that this movie is called The Wolverine because I really do believe that this is the most definitive depiction of the character. We're getting to the heart of who he is, what his struggles are, and ultimately how he can really become himself and own it. We set the story up so that he's hiding, living apart from the world, struggling with his immortality. We're really looking at what it's like for someone who is maybe 300 years old, where, in a way, the length of his life, which most of us would dream for, is a burden, because he's living with a lot of regret and there's a lot of pain. Let's not forget, pretty much everyone Wolverine loves dies.
Get here. Of course.
Can you stay?
You know I can't.
Which is why we have a slightly darker tone in this movie.
This isn't gonna end well.
That hurt.
I wouldn't bother with them. I'm pocketing back.
Logan's visited by a young Japanese woman, a very interesting character named Yukio.
It's been an honor just to meet the Wolverine.
It's not who I am anymore, you understand?
Yukio comes to him with an invitation to come to Japan, which he accepts as an escape from where he is.
Master Yoshida wants to say thank you for saving his life all those years ago.
In World War II, Wolverine protected a young soldier named Yoshida at the bombing of Nagasaki.
So it's because of his past that some 60 years later, he gets drawn in to this world in Japan.
I didn't send for you only to thank you, Logan. I wanted to repay you. Eternity can be a curse. It hasn't been easy for you, living without time. The losses you have had to suffer. I can end your eternity. Make you immortal.
He's given the chance of a normal human life, and he has to make a decision about who he really is and who he wants to be.
Our movie gets a chance to imagine the burden of immortality, of forever.
You have struggled long enough, Logan.
What I am, what they did to me, that can't be undone.
Don't be so sure.
The further I could take him from the known quantity of a superhero ready for action, the more interesting I think the story is.
I'm not getting better, not like before.
When Logan loses the ability to heal, he also loses the ability to protect the people he cares about.
But you're different now, aren't you? They can hurt you. They can kill you.
The thing I love about Wolverine is he's dangerous, unpredictable, savage, and he loves it. When he gets into that state, this berserker rage, in a way, that's the most alive he feels. The one person you don't want to piss off is Wolverine.
I only have to kill 10 people today. Only 10? Yeah, it's a lot.
I've never worked harder on fight sequences in my life.
Backhand, right hook.
He learns choreography really easily. You can do long pieces of uncut action, and that's very rare for actors.
And that's a swipe?
Yeah.
He's probably the most physically talented actor in the business.
That's it.
He's as good as any stuntman that we have in our company.
We'd have him in every day of the week, generally for an hour or two. He'd usually do a weight session, and then he'd go through cardio, and then we'd take him through some wire work.
What's so wonderful about Hugh is that he's never satisfied.
work out, right?
Every day I go out there playing Wolverine, I give it more effort than the day before. I have a little ritual. I start my day with a cold shower because it just pisses me off. And I think, in ode to Wolverine, I need to start the day pissed off. I feel I have more passion for it than when I began. Physically, where I am in this is the first time I've gone, that's Wolverine. That's how I saw the character completely. I want people to look at Wolverine and go, this guy will rip my head off.
One more take.
There is no better director than Jim Mangold for telling story and character.
He's one of the most gifted directors that I've ever seen.
Hugh, I just would let rage drive the scene.
Where are they taking her?
All right, nicely done.
Jim brings a tentpole sensibility to be able to mount something of real scale.
I think it's kind of cool just to shoot the POV through his armor.
He pushed me to go deeper every way, every take.
You stumble forward, you look right at them. Much of what we worked on as we developed the stunts was how can these action sequences actually be dramatic scenes in which stuff happens.
He is actually fusing the dramatic and the action.
Come on, let's go, let's go. Whether you're jumping from roof to rooftop in the buildings of Tokyo, whether you're in an ice village sliding around on ice, or on a 300-mile-an-hour bullet train. When you hit these action sequences, you are thrown in the middle. The samurai story, it's one of the most popular story arcs in the comics. It was something that attracted my attention 12 years ago. Just to take you back a little, on X-Men 1, there was a rule of no comic books on set for fear that they would come with a two-dimensional kind of performance. And so people, it was literally like contraband. It was like, you know, people were just handing around, there'd be comic books put under the door of my trailer. And the very first one I picked up was Wolverine in Japan, the samurai story. And as I read it, I was just like, now this is a great movie.
Let's shoot!
So here I am, kind of fulfilling those dreams. We get to really explore not only my favorite, but fans' overwhelming favorite comic book, which is the Japanese saga.
Taking the entire storyline to mainland Japan seemed to me a really unique way to kickstart Wolverine and kind of drop him into something completely different.
I love that it's modern Japan because that's real, and yet it's completely alien to us. We were able to shoot in some of the more vibrant elements of the city and capture all the dynamism that is Tokyo.
The movie really is this fish out of water story. It's Wolverine in this foreign world. You know, it seemed to me just the perfect juxtaposition. There's this world of history and tradition and manners that he doesn't care for.
You need to bow.
One of the ideas we brought to the film was this idea that Wolverine is a Ronin. A Ronin in samurai legend is kind of a warrior without a purpose, and that's a really interesting place to find this character.
In this movie, he meets Mariko, who is such an iconic character in the comic book.
When they read his will, I will become the most powerful person in Japan.
She is someone who really gets Wolverine's attention, affection.
My grandfather called me a Ronin, a samurai without a master.
Was he right?
Mariko reawakens in Logan his desire again to protect.
I'm gonna get her.
Cut, one more time. Here we go. Where this film separates in big ways from superhero films, comic book films, is that Hugh and I set out to make a film that got inside Wolverine. There's a little dark pleasure in that. In a way, it offered us both a fresh start and a unique set of confrontations and environments.
In this movie, there are incredible foes and enemies for him to overcome.
This is a world of Yakuza, ninja, the legacy of the samurai.
Even though Wolverine's a mutant, he realizes the samurais have weapons that are more powerful than his because they have understanding of weaknesses, they have control of their mind, and that discipline is a greater weapon than the guy with claws.
His flesh is weak now. I did that.
Viper, she's one of the great villains I've ever seen on screen.
Viper was a character in the franchise that we haven't seen to date. She is a fascinating, enigmatic woman.
We really took the idea that she's named after a snake as far as we could go.
What are you?
A mutation? A viper?
The All of these lead up to this final act. Wolverine facing his ultimate foe.
What we set out to do was to try and make a movie that Hugh and I really wanted to see. A really exciting film, but one with huge heart.
You can live a long and ordinary life, fall in love, have a family, grow old.
Everything for him comes at a price. Wolverine realizes he can't hide. He can't run away. There are unresolved things, and he has to face them.
You have courage, but that won't help much now.
My goal was for fans to experience the fiercest superhero of them all. It's thrilling and visceral. You are right in the middle of it.
What kind of monster are you? The Wolverine.